Good evening, everyone. You're welcome to another Instagram Live with Mommy Mo Hair Care. How did that sound? All right. Bridget Soso, hi, good evening. Thank you for joining. You're welcome. You're very, very welcome. Joda's Hair Secret, you're welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you. You are welcome, 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 welcome. MC Lagat. Did I get that? Thank you for joining. Oluwakemi 2117. Thank you for joining. How does that 2117 sound like a song? 2117, or maybe it sounds just similar to something else. Well, anyway, thank you guys for joining. If this is your first time interacting with me, my name is Olushola David, also known as Mommy Mo. And of course, this is Mommy Mo Hair Care. Asma Hussein, you're welcome. Olusowolushola, welcome. That is tongue twisting. Wow, that is tongue twisting. So like I was saying, if this is your first time of interacting with me, my name is Olushola David, but everybody calls me Mommy Mo. And I am the founder of Mommy Mo Hair Care. What do I do, or what do we do here at Mommy Mo Hair Care? I help you navigate your child's natural hair care, first by inspiring you and then motivating you that you can do this thing they call natural hair care. You can do it. You can definitely do it. And then, of course, I teach you how to care for your child's hair through consults, through coaching. I have ebooks. If you check the link in my bio, the ebooks are there. We have online courses. And of course, I also provide you support through the sale of natural hair care products, both for adults and children, tools that you can use, aids that you can do. We make the best silk hair bonnets for adults and kids. Take my word for it. Yeah. So anyway, today's live. Oh yeah, let me just write the topic. Is help. My child's hair is stuck at the same length. If any of you have experienced that, you can just put like a hand up in the comment section. If you've experienced that, okay, your child's hair is not growing past a certain length, or maybe it was your own hair, you can just put a hand up to let me know if any of you have gone through that. Let me put our topic. Hello, Akinshete. Hi. Hi, Christiana. How are you? Hi, Grace. Hi, Margaret. You're welcome. I'm just trying to put the topic so I can pin it. Sorry if the video is shaking. So how have you guys been? How's it going? Getting ready for elections in Nigeria. Okay. Yeah, so let me just pin that comment so that anyone who joins us can see that this is what we're talking about. Your child's hair is stuck at the same length. So I was asking if there is anyone who has experienced this. You've been trying your best, you've been growing the hair, but the hair is not passing the ears, or is not passing the shoulder, and you're doing everything, you've done everything you can, or you think you're doing what you should be doing, but somehow is not giving you more length. If there's anyone. Hello, Ehi. How are you? You're owing me. P Boss 27. Good evening. You're welcome. So this evening we're talking about what we in the hair care industry, or we hair care practitioners, term a hair growth plateau. So you know what a plateau is? A plateau is a mountain. It's a kind of mountain, but it has a flat top. So it's not like regular kind of mountain that keeps going up. So it's ascending, right? This type of mountain, you get to a point, is flat and it doesn't go any further than that. So a hair growth plateau, what you will notice is you've been doing what you think you ought to be doing, but your child's hair is not growing past a certain length. The same length it was in March 2022 is the same length it is in March 2023. That is what we call a hair growth plateau for hair care practitioners. But basically for you, simply put, is that the hair is just stuck at the same length and you don't know what to do. Now, there are a couple of causes, a couple of things that could cause your child's hair to do this. And the main thing is that, or the main thing that you need to understand is that your child's hair is breaking. So it is breaking at a rate that is more or less equal to the rate at which it is growing out of the scalp. Hair grows out of the scalp at a rate of about half an inch every 28 days or every month. So when half an inch grows out every month, you're most likely losing about half an inch every month as well to different causes. So now if you just stay with me, you may, if this is an issue that you have experienced or that you are experiencing, you may find that a couple of things that I will mention could speak to you. Now, breakage. Breakage is a major culprit when hair is not gaining in length, and it can be breaking. In fact, breakage is the main culprit. Breakage is you are losing hair, it's falling off, somehow it is disappearing from this point. It is somehow you can't really see it and watch it and say, oh, I can see it's breaking. No, but the hair is disappearing from the ends. Hello Oyeni Grace, hello Sheo, you're welcome. We're talking about a hair growth plateau where your child's hair is not growing past a certain length. So breakage is the main culprit. Now, there are different causes of breakage. I'll itemize a couple of them for you. Split ends. If your child's hair has split ends, the tips will be breaking off. And if the tips are breaking off, you are not gaining length. You are losing length. So all the growth that is coming out of the scalp, that should be cascading down. So imagine I did a big chop and my hair started growing, and then it's growing and it's growing and it's growing. So instead of the length to continue, you find that it does not do that. You just find that it's the same length this hair was 6 months ago that it still is. It's possible that your child's hair has split ends. Split ends are weathered ends. So instead of the hair shaft being solid, something like this. So instead of just one strand, for example, instead of it to be solid like this, right, you have something like this at the end of the strand. Well, let me do my hand this way because hair grows downwards. You have something like this. And if this tears off, right, after a while, this part will also tear off. All right, so those are split ends and they come in different forms. But the thing is, the hair is split, the hair is fractured, and it will break off. I can put my money on it, it will break off. Another reason why your child's hair may be breaking and you may not be gaining in length is that you are probably overusing your comb and probably overusing your hairbrush. Excessive combing fractures hair. It's simple and it's a science. It's proven. If you learn hair science, it is a fact. Overcombing and overbrushing will break hair. So you might be combing through your child's hair a bit too frequently, especially if your kids are a bit younger. You may be combing either a bit too frequently or the point in time when you are combing too much. You're combing, you want the hair to be so smooth, before you start styling or whatever. It's not really necessary. You don't really have to do that. So overcombing and overbrushing will also break your child's hair. Now, overstyling will also break the hair. Overstyling, you have started this week. Next week, we have changed it. The week after, we have changed it. And if you have time on your hands, in the middle of the week, you change the hairstyle again because you want your child's hair to always look nice and neat and pretty overstyling will break your child's hair. And this is part of the reasons why your child's hair is not growing past a certain length. Another factor, or another breakage factor, because I said the whole issue here is that the hair is breaking, whether it's because they are split ends, whether it's because you've been overcombing, over brushing, or you've been over styling. Another breakage factor is excessive use of synthetic extensions. Now, this is a, how will I say it? This is a, I don't know, there are still so many moms who believe they cannot adequately style their child's hair unless they have put extensions in the child's hair. Either they have used some hair, some expressions or something you have added to it. You feel you can't style your child's hair adequately without using extensions. You will find that excessive use of synthetic extensions actually breaks your child's hair because they are drying, and dryness will lead to breakage. They are also not smooth substances, so they cause a bit of friction. Your child will probably snag along with it. And another big issue that I have found out over my years of experience is that when parents or when moms put their children's hair in a protective style using extensions, they tend to abandon the hair in the style. So there's no cleansing happening, there's no moisturizing happening, there's no conditioning happening, there's no lubrication happening. So you find that by the time they are taking down the hairstyle, by the time they're loosening the attachment, or by the time they're loosening the extensions, hair is going. Hair is going. As you are disposing of the used attachment, I kid you not, there will be human hair. There will be human hair with what you are disposing. And if you do this frequently, back to back, and this is for those of you in the abroad, back to back, your child's hair will break. It will be unable to retain length because of the excessive use of these extensions. Okay? Another breakage factor that can contribute to your child's hair not growing past a certain length is friction. Friction between the hair and other items. Clothes, seats, sitting down, cotton towels, especially on wash day. I know the cotton towel is so effective, right? You use it and then it just sucks up all the water, but that fabric is a bit too harsh, especially for afro textured natural hair. So hair like the one Mommy Humo has on her head is a bit too harsh. All right, and there's friction usually occurs between cotton and hair, and once friction occurs, you will likely have breakage. Even your pillowcases, the pillowcase your child is sleeping on, if it's cotton, it will contribute to breakage because it will contribute to dryness. And like I always say, dryness and breakage are 5 and 6. Let's put it that way. Once the hair is dry, breakage will follow. All right, unless you do something to mitigate against that. So those are the kind of things that can cause your child's hair to remain at a certain length. And remember, when I started talking about this, that hair is staying at the same length because it is breaking. It is breaking off from the tips right here at a rate that is almost equal to the same rate at which the hair is growing out of the scalp. And I said hair grows out of our scalp, and on average about ½ an inch. Some people's about 1 centimeter. So it depends on genetics. That one's genetics, or how healthy you are and all of that, if you don't have any issues. So hair grows on average about ½ an inch every 28 days, or you can say every month. And if you're excessively combing and styling and you are just breaking 1 inch away every month or thereabout, so it looks or appears that your child's hair does not continue to get longer and longer. It doesn't cascade down her back. It doesn't cascade down her neck. Okay? Now, I'm sure after you've listened to all this, now you're like, okay, so what do we do if we find that one of these issues, we are guilty of them and we want to repent? So how to manage a hair growth plateau? The first thing, of course, is all the things I have mentioned. If you can do like a table of words and opposites for it, just begin to do the opposites. So if I said overcombing, obviously you need to slow down on comb. You need to take a step back and comb less. Comb your child's hair less, and make sure you are using the appropriate type of comb. It needs to be wide, and if you can afford it and get your hands on it, it needs to be seamless. Okay, it needs to be seamless. If you are one of the people who raise up their hands when they mentioned over brushing, you need to slow down on brushing. In fact, you may not even need to. For example, with my girls, we only run a comb through their hair a maximum of twice a month. Yeah. So in a whole 30 days, I comb my child's hair on a maximum of twice. And what I started doing this year, I think I put it up in one of the posts, is that I'm trying out an experiment, and I want to see if I can comb just once a month, that is, have their hair loose just once a month, and see if that helps them retain a little more length, or if it really doesn't matter. In which case, I will only be running a comb through their hair properly only once in 30 days or once in 28 days. So if you know you are a fan of over combing and over brushing and over styling, just flip over, flip over, put down that comb, and just slow it down, because this hair on our head, this type of hair, it loves to break. Its hobby is breaking, but we cannot allow it. All right, so we need to do all the things that we can to cut down on how much it breaks off. It is impossible to say it will never break, or that there's something you can do that will make it never break. It is 100% impossible, but you can cut down on the breakage to a point that your hair or your child's hair gets longer and longer over time. Welcome. Some people have joined. Welcome, Ashake, Count Coupons, Oladoyin, Maserati, Esther. This is Morayo. Midday, Love Walker, Damit. Hi, Mama Divine Roots. Hi, T. Hello, ladies. You're welcome. So we're talking about if your child's hair is stuck at a particular length, what could have caused it. And I just went through the causes, and I'm now going through the management, or maybe the treatment, as you want to put it, or the solutions to this. And I said the first thing is, for some of the issues I mentioned, you need to do the reverse. So if you have been over combing, you need to right. If you have been over combing, you need to cut down on combing. You really need to cut down on it. And I was just explaining that I only comb my children's hair a maximum of 2 times in a month. Yeah, something to ponder on. If you've been over brushing, cut down on brushing. Your child's hair doesn't have to be 100% neat all of the time. If you've been over styling, so if you're styling your child's hair more than 4 times in a month, 4 times even for me, I think is a lot. Personally, it's a lot. You should style maybe 2 or 3 times and just let the hair be. And if you've been using extensions, because I mentioned that excessive use of extensions is a factor that will continue to break your child's hair and therefore not allow your child's hair to grow longer, you need to slow down on the extensions, Mama. You need to slow down. Your child's hair can be styled without extensions. I'm currently creating content on Hi Fuzo, Nana Amao, welcome, thanks for joining. I'm currently trying to create content on the kind of styles you can do for your child if their hair is short, if their hair is medium length, if their hair is long. I've currently put out the one for short hair, both for kids and for adults, and these are all styles that you can do with your own natural hair. You don't even need extensions, right? So if you can find a way to style without extensions, the hair is better off for it. If you feel you cannot manage, without using extension 100%, it's okay. But just know that it cannot be used excessively. Like, you can't use extensions on your child's hair January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, and expect long hair. Is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Like I said in the beginning, I found that a lot of mothers, once they put attachments or extensions in their child's hair, they tend to abandon the hair, thinking that, okay, the hair is styled and it's going to be here for like the next 6 weeks, 8 weeks sometimes. Some people can leave their children's extensions in for 3 months. I've heard of that. the hair will break. You are not, so all the people you're admiring, all the children you're looking at, their hair is looking full, is luscious, is soft, is long. Let me be honest and frank with you. You will not have that if you're excessively using extensions. You need to cut it down. You're going to, if you're using extensions for half of the year, you need to cut down that to half. So instead of using extensions 6 months in the year, use it 3 months in the year. So you need to drastically cut it down if you want to see length retention in your child's hair. All right. And then, so those are like do words and opposite, like I said. So those things, so those factors that will break, just do the reverse. If you've been doing it excessively, cut it down. You need to cut it down. Okay. Another thing you can do is make sure your child's hair care regimen is right and is right for your child. I'll give you an example. So if your child swims often and their hair comes in contact with chlorine, with pool water a lot, that child's hair care regimen is different from a child who doesn't swim at all. There's a difference in the way their hair is cared for. Yep, there is a difference. Hair care regimens are not one size fits all. It has to attend to what kind of life is this child living, how old is this child, how much time is available to the child hair care giver. So you need to make sure that your child's hair care regimen is right. And in making sure that the regimen is right, you need to be sure that you're using the right products for your child's hair care. So like I mentioned, with the example of the child that swims often, the type of shampoo that child is using is different from the type of shampoo that a child who doesn't swim is using. You need to make sure that you get the regimen right. Okay. Another thing you need to do is that you need to moisturize consistently and correctly. If you are team, I use coconut oil to moisturize my daughter's hair, or you are team, I use shea butter to moisturize my daughter's hair, mommy, you are not moisturizing. What you are doing is that you are oiling dry hair. Okay, so you need to make sure that you are moisturizing consistently on a schedule, if we can put it that way, and correctly. So when I say correctly, you are definitely using a leave-in conditioner. Moisturizing does not happen without the use of something that you put into the hair that attracts moisture to the hair and that contains ingredients that help to smooth down the cuticle. That's what moisturizers do for your child's hair. So you need to make sure that when you're moisturizing, one of the products you are using is a moisturizer. All right. If you can take it up a notch and start with a hydrating product before the moisturizer, good for you. And make sure after you have used the moisturizer, you need to use something that creates a barrier against water loss. It could be a beautiful hair oil. It could be a nicely whipped hair butter. Just make sure that you're using an occlusive and do it consistently. Find out what your child's moisture cycle is. And if you don't know what the moisture cycle is, you need to join the Healthy Hair Soundbites online course. I talk about the hair moisture cycle and how you can find out what that is. So that cycle, let me not talk too much about it, but you need to know what it is. So you need to know how often you need to moisturize your child's hair. Another thing you can do if you find that your child's hair is not growing past a certain age, you can actually switch up products. You could have been using the same products for, 9 months, 1 year. You can actually try something new. Yeah, it could just be that the products that you are using for your child's hair care are not the most effective for your child's hair. It could be very effective for another person. And this is where this copy and paste puts people into trouble. You see your friend, you see your neighbor, you see your cousin, you see your colleague, and their child's hair is looking like it's flourishing. It could be. And you ask them, oh, what products are you using? And they say, oh, this is what I'm using. And because you want that same result, you run and go and buy it. It may work for you and it may not work for you. This is a reality. Excuse me. This is actually a reality, and it is a very valid reality. You can buy the product and find that nothing changed. or what you were using probably gave you a better effect. What you were using before, maybe if you touched your child's hair, it was softer than this new product you went to buy. So such things happen. So you can change up, you can switch up products, you can decide to use a different shampoo, you can decide to use a different moisturizer, you can decide to use a different deep conditioner, and it might just work for you, and your child's hair could actually thrive better. Another thing you can do if your child's hair is stuck at a certain length is that you can increase the frequency of deep conditioning. Now, what is deep conditioning? For those of us who were born before the 90s, we are old. So for those of us who were born before the 90s, whenever we went to the salon then, I wanted to get a really good intense treatment. They used to say you want to steam your hair. I don't know if you were ever in that category and you went to salon and say, "Oh, auntie, you want to steam your hair?" You can just give me a wave. So it's basically just having an intense moisturizing treatment done on your hair, allowing it to sit in and seep into the hair for a good amount of time before you rinse it out. And this is a very, very crucial step in hair care, because a lot of people they're always so quick to rush from shampoo and hair funke, good steaming. These days we don't call it steaming anymore, we call it deep conditioning, or having a treatment done. Okay, I lost my train of thought. So anyway, okay, yeah, like I was saying, it's actually a very vital step. See, we are plenty born before the 90s. Okay, so deep condition is actually a very, very vital step. And like I was saying, people are very, very quick to rush from shampoo to getting it over and done with. And a lot of people still think if I shampoo the hair, I've done what I need to do on wash day, because it's wash day and they've washed the hair, but you've actually not done everything you need to do. Cleansing is just one part. You need to condition the hair so that you begin to close down, smooth down the cuticles. If there's repair that needs to be done, is the hair is being repaired at this point. All right, so that conditioning step, try not to miss it. If your child is still really young, you should be using a rinse out conditioner immediately after you shampoo. And if your child is a bit older, please don't skip out on deep conditioning. Use that deep conditioning treatment. Put it in your child. Let it sit 10 minutes, 15 minutes. If your child is older, 20 minutes. If you have a preteen, a teenager, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You will find that if you do this consistently over time, the quality, the feel of your child's hair will actually improve. And if that improves, trust me, breakage will be cut down. So one of the ways to help your child's hair grow longer is actually to deep condition more frequently. Okay, if you were doing it once a month, maybe you want to increase it to 2 times or 3 times a month. And a good idea is actually to deep condition on every wash day. It's not bad. You will not lose if you do that. Another thing you can do if you want your child's hair to continue to get longer is to introduce protein treatments or protein products. Okay, so some leave-in conditioners have protein in them. And when I say protein, I'm not talking about you going to put egg on your child's hair or avocado mixed with something, or even mayonnaise that we eat. I've done it before. Don't do it. Please don't do it. It's not worth it, and they're properly formulated products that will get you a more effective result. All right, so the proteins I'm talking about are hydrolyzed proteins. So when you go to the supermarket or you go to the beauty supply store or the store where they sell hair care products, you want to look on the body, on the label of the deep conditioner, and see if there's any word that starts with the word hydrolyzed. Hydrolyzed silk protein, hydrolyzed oat protein, hydrolyzed soy protein, hydrolyzed wheat protein, hydrolyzed rice protein. These products have some elements of protein in them, which is good because hair is over 90% made of protein. And when we manipulate, when we brush, we style, we wash, we do all sorts of things, we create gaps in the structure of the hair shaft. So what these products do, these ones that have protein, is that they help to fill in those gaps or cracks, and it may be they help to refortify the hair, giving the hair more resilience. So when you're manipulating, the hair will break off less. Remember, the whole point of this discussion is to reduce breakage to the point that your child's hair gets longer and longer and longer. If that is what you want, keep listening. Another thing you can do is to try Ayurveda. Now, I'm very cautious when I talk about Ayurveda because this platform, the first audience are the kids, are our children. We're caring for our children's hair. If you lift off content from here, if you take information from here and you apply it to your own hair, it will work for you, which is great. Okay, but my first point of call are the kids, your girls, your boys, if you want to grow their hair. So when I talk about Ayurveda, I try to be cautious and I try to be very careful because Ayurveda is potent. It's potent. Ayurveda is the use of herbs, naturally derived powders or oils and stuff that you can apply to your hair or to your child's hair to improve it. All right. And because it is potent, right, you want to be careful when using it for children. A safe way that I can advise you to introduce Ayurveda, that is the use of herbs in your child's hair care, is to either use infused oils or use stuff like hair teas. So the effect is mild, and if you use it consistently, you will get the attendant effect of whatever herb or herb blend that you are using. Try not to use Ayurvedic masks on kids, especially kids below the age of 5. Some of them are so strengthening. If you don't know what you're doing, you will break the hair by using Ayurveda. It's possible. So you need to be careful. So use maybe oils that have been infused, stuff like amla or fenugreek, which are really good for growing hair. Or you do teas, Ayurvedic teas, hibiscus tea, aloe vera tea, things like that. And then try to stick with flowers and something like aloe vera, which is like widely accepted by a host of people. Not many people are allergic to something like aloe vera. So you can try Ayurveda, but please be careful. One big thing I would tell you if you're trying to grow your child's hair long is you need to get a trim done. If you find that hair has not grown past a certain length, you need to get out scissors, hair scissors or hair shears, and you need to use it. Okay, so now trimming is one way in hair care where you gain by losing. You actually gain by losing. So if, for example, your child's hair has split ends, if you trim often enough, you'll find that you keep those split ends away and the hair can continue to get longer because it won't keep breaking off due to the split ends because you've trimmed them off. So trimming is a good idea. If you haven't trimmed your daughter's hair in a long time, 1 year, 9 months, it may be a good idea to get a trim done. Okay. Another thing you can do is, like I said earlier, reduce the use of synthetic extensions. My children have never had hair extensions in their hair. And if I can do it, you can do it. Mommy Mo is not up there as if I cannot relate with being a mom like you. I can. I know the challenges we all go through, and I know what it feels like when you're caring for your child's hair. But if I can manage without hair extensions, you can also manage without hair extensions. My first daughter is going to be 10. The second one is 8.5. And they have never used synthetic extensions. So you can do that. What age would you suggest trimming for children? I would say once that baby hair is gone, that baby, almost as if they were mixed race kind of, stuff has gone, and you now have proper afro textured hair. And that is a subjective, or let's say relative recommendation, because for one child, they can come into that full afro textured hair at the age of 1, and another child could be at the age of 2. So I would say once you have that afro textured hair fully established and you have now started styling. Remember, styling is a form of manipulation that causes cracks and tears in the hair, you want to do a trim from that point. So it would vary per child. So you know your child. You know if your child's hair has the afro textured hair fully established, you know, and if it is, and you started styling, you started running comb, you started twisting it, you started doing plaits, you started doing cornrow, you started doing weaving, then you need to introduce trimming. And trimming is only taking off a little, it's not taking off a lot. All right. I have a video on my YouTube channel where I show you how I trim my children's hair, and you can do that. And finally, my final suggestion for you, if your child's hair is not growing past a certain length, is you need to use silk or satin items when they go to bed, when even if they are napping. So if you have kids that are still taking naps, you need a silk headdress or a satin headdress, and you need to put it where they are sleeping. If they're older now and they're only sleeping at night, get a silk bonnet. We sell beautiful ones. You can check the online, so just go to the link in my bio. You can get a silk pillowcase if your child doesn't like anything on her head. And I'm suggesting this because remember when I was talking about the causes of why your child's hair is not exceeding a certain length, is that because there's a lot of friction between your child's hair and other items. Other items could include your child's pillowcase or your child's bed sheets, you know, so you need to switch up to silk or satin. Yeah, so that is what I have for you. Hi Busola. Flavor of home. Hello Olamide, you joined. Sorry, I didn't notice when you joined. Welcome. Reiki, I am Omoglo. Ayomide, welcome ladies. So I'm actually at the end of my topic tonight. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. So if you have gone through this phenomenon or this challenge before where you've been caring for your child's hair, but somehow the hair is not getting longer, is staying in the same place, the place it was 9 months ago is the same place it's reaching now, then you need to attend to it. And I've talked about a couple of factors, a lot of factors that could be causing that, as well as what you can do to try to make it start getting longer again. And if you really want to know more about caring for your child's hair, hello Jane, you're welcome. If you really want to know more about caring for your child's hair, what you need to be doing, when you need to be doing it, how you need to be doing it, what products you need to be using, when should you be using the products, how should you be using the products, how do you want to get wash day to be free of frustrations, then you need to sign up for the Healthy Hair Soundbites online course. It opens next month on the 8th of April. Registration closes on the 7th of April. So it's an online course and it's the only one of its kind currently available in the environment. Yeah, take my word for it. There are not many kids hair care online courses around. So you really want to jump on this. Hi hi Jane. So I teach moms all the foundational basics that you need to know in caring for your child's hair, and I teach you the extras. I teach you the what, the why, the when, the how, and I'm hand holding you for a whole 3 months. Yep, we're together for 3 months. Any issues you have, you bring them to me and we knock them out. You will have live coaching sessions where we talk one-on-one, or rather we talk as a group, and I address your child's individual hair care issues. So whatever issues you are having with your child's hair care, we're going to tackle it out. You learn how to build a regimen, a flexible regimen. You know how to put controls in place that help you with the hair care so that you actually get to see results. All the mothers who have come on the course, this will be third cycle, all the mothers who have come on the course have all testified that, but even halfway through the course, the child hair is already getting longer or it's getting fuller. So you can be like that as well. You're tired of, you've tried this, you've tried that, it's not working. Maybe you didn't try it the right way. Maybe you shouldn't be trying what you tried. You should have tried something else. And I'm here to help you with that. So all you need to do is go to the link in my bio and it's there. There's a payment link. You can pay and it automatically signs you up, or you can do a bank transfer. The flyer has been on my stories for days. It's there every day. You can do a bank transfer if you're based in Nigeria. So it's really a really intense course. It's and I'm there. I teach you so much, so much that you really can't find elsewhere. So much I really can't find elsewhere, and it's actually quite helpful. And I'm so happy with the mothers who joined and who are seeing results, and you can be like them as well. So any questions for me? Any questions? We talked about how to get a child hair to get longer. I mean, that's what every mother wants, for her child hair to grow long. So any questions? And if there are no questions, then we can call it tonight, and we can do this again next week. Any questions? Welcome, David Twins. You are welcome. He's practically welcome because he's coming into the house. Any questions for me? If no, we'll call it tonight. PR Games, you're welcome. I've actually come to the end of the Instagram live, but the replay will be up so you can listen to what we discussed, the issue we discussed, and the solutions for it. Okay, I don't see any questions for me. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me this evening. Remember, if you want to join the Healthier Soundbites online course, just click the link in my bio or make a transfer to the account on the flyer. All right, thank you for being here. I appreciate every one of you, and have a good night.